Welcome to Lesson 85, Part 1 of our interactive notes. And we will be working on making a line plot with whole numbers, pages 47 and 48. Okay, so our content objective for 4th grade MD measurement data B4. I can make a line plot to show measurements involving whole numbers. Language objective, I can use vocabulary related to plotting data to make line plots. Social objective, I can work with others to use models to create line plots. A line plot is a display of a set of data on a number line with a mark to represent the frequency of that data. So here is an example, length of caterpillars in inches. So these are the inches, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch, 6 inch, and this is how many caterpillars meet those lengths. Data. Data is a collection of information, facts, or measurements. So should we study butterflies or dragonflies for the next lesson? So here is some data collection. Those who voted for butterflies, those who voted for dragons, and from that data you make decisions. So it's just a collection of different types of information. Here we have some more examples of line plots. So here is what's called our scale. This is, in this case, the scale is in inches. So we have 8 8.5 inches, 8 3/4 inches, 9 inches, 9 1/4, 9 1/2. So these are the scale, the inches, and they always go up by the same amount. So these are going up by 1/4 or 1/4 of an inch each time. This would also be called our x-axis, just to get used to that term for later in middle school and high school. Here's our title. Our title is ribbon lengths. So we're looking at different ribbon lengths, and this is the actual data. We have 1 ribbon at this length, 2 at this, 3 at this length, 5 at this length, and 4 at this length. Okay, here is another example of a line plot. This time our scale is actually the colors. A line plot can also show data on a line with an X to show how many times an object, color, or thing has showed up. So in this case, the scale is not numbers, it's colors. And then each X would represent something, in this case 1 person. So 1 person selected red, 4 selected blue, 2 selected purple, 5 selected green. Okay, and then here, this is a way we can look at the information. So this, we have our scale, we have the different X's representing whatever it is. But this is a way we can look and say, this is the one that occurs most frequently, most commonly, called our mode. This is where most of our information is, so we call it a cluster. This is where most of everybody lies. Here, from our last one, from our cluster to here, we have some gaps going on. This is where most of the data is, but we have some gaps here. And this one's way far off, so we call it an outlier, because it's way out there by itself. It's not common with the rest of the data. So here are the parts of a line plot. Here's another example that doesn't have to use numbers, and this is then how we can use the line plot to look at information. Okay, so here we have another example. This is, the title is candy bars. Our scale is the number of candy bars in whole numbers. And then each X represents 1 student. So here is how many students are represented eating certain amounts of candy bars. 1 student has no candy bars. 1 student has 1 candy bar. 1 student has 2 candy bars. 3 students have 3 candy bars. No student has 4 candy bars, and so on. So that's what this is telling us. One person, one person, one person, 3 people, nobody, 5 people. So being able to interpret the data is important also. All right, so here we're going to make our line plot. We have a table with data. Here's the number of pets, number of students. The title we are looking at, number of pets. So here, this is the number of pets. That's using this part. Now we have to put X's to represent each person. Pets for each student. Use the data from the table to make our line plot. So our X equals 1 student. This is our key. If we're missing our key, we may not know exactly what the X's stand for. We could have it stand for 2 students or 5 students if we had larger amounts of data. So it's important to have your scale, your key for your scale there. So 0 pets, we have 4 students. So we need 4 X's to represent those 4 students. 1 pet, 4 students. So we need 4 X's to represent the 4 students. 2 pets, there are 7. So we need 7 X's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 is 2 students. 4 is 1 student. 5 is 3 students. 6 is 1 student. Okay, so now we have created our line plot based on our table. That's all we're focusing on right now. Okay, now we're going to practice creating other line plots. Now this is a little different because in the last one I gave you the scale number. This time we have to make it ourselves. Mr. Stevens' class recorded how many pets each student owns. So the title of this would be number of pets. And it looks like our lowest number is 0. And so this would be number of pets. This is our scale. So we go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it looks like our highest number is 5. So first we have to create our scale. Then we look and need to represent 1x for 1 student. So each x represents 1 student. So we have a student that has 3, so we put an x there. We have 1 student that has 5. We have 1 student that has 1. We have another student who has 3. We have a student that has 4 pets. Another student that has 4 pets. Student that has 2 pets. Student that has 0 pets. Another one with 2 pets. Another one with 0 pets. Another one with 1 pet. And 0 pets. And 2 pets. And 3 pets. And 3 pets. Oops, wrong one. 3 pets. That is why you use pencil and not pen. So you should have 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1. We had 15 students represented here. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 X's. So we got them all. All right. Now this number line, for some reason, was very light. So it's hard to see the marks, but they are there. Okay, so our lowest number is 5, and our highest number is 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mr. Sandoval recorded the scores of his students on the most recent math quiz. So these numbers represent scores on math quiz. So these are each of the scores. And so we're looking at our math quiz as our title. 1x represents one student. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 who have scored a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 who scored 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 2 who scored 7. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 who scored 8. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 who scored 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 who scored 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have, is it 7, 4, 2, 8, 9, and 6. Here, this one, Miss Klaus's class ran laps. The list shows the number of laps completed by each student in the class. So our scale is number of laps. So these right here were scores on the math quiz. That's where we found out what our scale is. How many pets? Number of pets. So this time our scale is number of laps. So let's see what our lowest number is. It looks like 1 is our lowest number. And it goes up to 7's our highest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1x, so this is laps. Running laps can be our title. So 1x equals 1 student. So 1 student ran 5 laps, so we put an x at 5. 1 student ran 3 laps. 1 student ran 1 lap. Another student ran 3 laps. Another student ran 5 laps. 1 student ran 4 laps. Another student ran 5 laps. Student ran 7 laps. Another student ran 7 laps. Student ran 2 laps. Student ran 3 laps. 2 students ran 4 laps. Student ran 3 laps. Student ran 2 laps. Student ran 1 lap. Student ran 4 laps. Student ran 5 laps. Student ran 4 laps. And a student ran 1 lap. So we should have 3 x's, 2 x's, 4 x's, 5 x's, 4 x's, no x's, and 2 x's. Our last line plot that we're doing, Ms. Peach recorded the amount of siblings. So amount of siblings, siblings are brothers and sisters of each of her students. So we're looking, our scale is number of students. So it looks like we start with 0, that's our lowest amount. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 is our highest amount. So we have each X represents one student. And so, I'm sorry, number of siblings, not student, number of siblings. This is also why you use pencil and not pen. Siblings, those are our brothers and sisters. So we have one student who has 0 brothers and sisters. They're an only child. We have one who is 1, one who has 5, another one who has 1, one who has 2, one who has 3, another one who has 0, another one who has 2, another one who has 1, another one who has, or one who has 4, another one who has 2, another one who has 1, another one who has 1, another one who has 2, one who has 0, no one who has 1, one who has 3, one who has 0, and one who has 2. So it looks like we have 4, 6, 5, 2, 1, 1. So this is just the making of line plots, because once you make it, then you can use it to answer questions. But first we have to be able to make it. So let's go ahead and practice more with our 3-column notes.